St. Lucia has had a long and prominent history with the sea. In fact, much of the island's significance in history has been the result of its geographic location, excellent harbors and port facilities. As St. Lucia's maritime industry grows, it will become increasingly important for its citizens to take advantage of old strategic advantages and new opportunities.
We believe that the yachting sector is that diamond in the rough, that yet undiscovered aspect of our product which we need to invest into in a major way. What we think is that through the yachting sector, which I believe there's been limited investment over a number of years, what we hope to do is to expand the yachting sector significantly.
Even from the early days of yachting in the Caribbean, St. Lucia was a place of interest to sailors.
Well, without a doubt, the ARC, the Atlantic Rally for Cruisers, has defined our yachting industry for the last 20 years. It made St. Lucia, and by extension, Marigot, Rodney Bay and Soufriere, household names in Europe.
Thank you. Good evening, our participants, 2008 World Cruising team. Oftentimes I tell people this is my best time of year, and it's not because it's Christmas. It's because from Las Palmas sails a group of people, regardless of what's happening in the world, regardless of what's taking place in their personal lives, and take a trip across the Atlantic to come to St. Lucia. Having been here for the last 19 years, I can safely say that it's one of the few events that I know of that truly identifies with the human spirit. One that always wants to embrace new frontiers, meet new friends and exchange cultures.
The yachtsman is going to stake out the deal if there's one. Regardless of if they're a millionaire, they want to have the experience. So the ancillary fish fry, you're going to see them there. The January fish fry. Grosile, Grosile is legendary. Grosile and Rodney Bay yachting goes hand in hand. Every yachtsman comes here racing together on a Friday so he can go to the Friday night jump rope. They're going to climb the pitons. They're going to go on the hikes. They want to go to the backdoor village because that's the nature of a yachtsman. It's adventure, it's exploring. And I think you're right. Last year, a total of 43,000 yachtsmen came and passed through St. Lucia.
As the industry developed, so did the need for services to support the visiting yachts.
In collaboration with the tourist board, it is our intention to ensure that we have a much more focused and targeted efforts there. And of course, I think the final challenge is to try to ensure that we create and continue to maintain the sorts of linkages with other sectors, subsectors within our national economy. Because I think, again, as with the tourism product generally, but certainly yachting as well, it has the ability and the capacity to pull a whole range of other services with it. And so if it is developing, then it is going to also make other subsectors develop as well. So as a catalyst for developing our economy, we think that there's tremendous potential in that.
And people on different trips, you meet different characters, different people. I do it because I love what I do. We have a 31-footer. It's a Blackfin 31-footer. It's a sports fishing boat. It's well rigged with five Tiagra Shimano's top of the line equipment. Okay, basically the boat is licensed and insured. I have a liability of $1 million coverage, but it was inspected by SLASPA, and I have from fire extinguisher, life jackets, VHF radio, and we go out for like a half day or full day from 8 o'clock in the morning till 12:30, which is a half day, 4.5 hours. and a full day is about 8.5 hours.
You may have also heard quite recently that the Minister of Commerce spoke about an initiative which we want to undertake between ourselves and the government of Taiwan. And what that does is going to do, it is going to broaden horizons for those persons who want to invest in the sector. It enables them to get the technical know-how, which has to do not just with the construction of vessels, both power and yachting vessels, and also enables them to look at the various ancillary services that are associated with the yachting sector. Because beyond just the creation of the building of the yachts, there's a thriving business when it comes to the maintenance of the yachting sector.
We are exploring this strategic alliance. We recognize the influence of the Taiwanese in terms of this particular subsector, and we want to ensure that we can capitalize on it through a number of different arrangements. And certainly training will be a major component of that. They've already demonstrated a capacity to collaborate with St. Lucia on a number of initiatives and to focus on supporting persons at the very lowest levels. So we believe that there is a lot of potential for us to explore that type of arrangement.
We have a cadre of persons who have been used on board vessels to help with the maintenance of the vessels, which includes the scraping of barnacles and the resanding of decks, etc. Other services like procurement of fruits and vegetables, go-for services, first mate services have all been part of that sector. And when we speak of terrestrial tourism and we speak of linkages with agriculture, it's not too dissimilar.
Well, in the boatyard, I mostly do all the metal works, welding, fabrication, and various material and items for yachting. And I mostly give a service helping people with a problem. 20 years now in St. Lucia. Well, I come with my qualification only in welding, but as I start working in the boatyard, I get to develop an experience on yacht and everything. Well, when I came first in 1992, I was looking for a job, and I came with my welding qualification. So when I came, I had a test, and I was hired right away. Right now, I'm looking for young people who are really interested in fabricating, welding, even machining. And as they go along, they could learn everything else.
It's something that will require a greater level of collaboration than exists right now. In the first instance, we have to identify the skill sets that are required. In the second instance, we have to, as you quite rightly pointed out, make those skill sets and careers attractive to young people. Because if they're not attracted to it, they're not going to go into it. And I think that is one of the challenges that we are going to be faced with. But ultimately, we have to ensure that we have a structured program that allows even a carpenter right now to fine-tune his art, to develop even greater capacity, greater levels of standards, so that what he produces becomes a product that can be incorporated within a yachting framework.
In order to support the growing sector, it became essential for official support.
As St. Lucia moves to an era where we are about on the eve of opening up a yachting registry in St. Lucia, it enables us as a destination to register yachts in St. Lucia. So yachts will actually be St. Lucia registered, carrying the St. Lucia flag as well. So it is it's another area where the government can derive, tremendous resources. But through that yachting registry, we expect to expand the yachting sector in St. Lucia as well. And what would help us fuel it even more significantly is if persons could be properly trained and invest into the ancillary services that are concerning that sector.
Over the years, many yachtsmen have found a second home in St. Lucia.
First time when I reached St. Lucia was because of the Ark race. We came in the night and we had a wonderful night here with lots of nice people. And then in the morning I saw that island and I started to love it. And that's now 16 years ago and I still love that island. I never went to St. Lucia before, but I was reading in newspapers and in magazines from St. Lucia, and actually had some friends that were here before, and they were telling me from that wonderful island, but I told myself that I will never go to St. Lucia because I don't have the possibility. But then the possibility came overnight. Somebody asked me if I want to go with a boat to St. Lucia with the Ark race, and I was here in some weeks, and it was great. Very nervous when it changed to EGY. So everybody was telling, oh, this will change, this will change. But at the end of the song, everything changed to a great way. Everything is really good. The bad thing is, the bad taste is, the prices went up very high. But we're still here. That means we still like the place and we still pay the higher prices. But everything is now really safe and it's good, it's great. Yes, the social life here is great. Every night we are going out. It's very nice, you know. I'm sailing to all the islands in the Caribbean area here, from north to south and from south to north, but there's no island what you can compare with St. Lucia. The people are so friendly, you have bars all over, you can stay there, and it's a nice life. You can go out for dinner, you can spend your time there, and you get contact, you get in contact with the local people, and that's the only island where you have that. It's not in Grenada, it's not in Martinique, not in St. Vincent, but here, that's life. Okay. Then we have that special event on Friday nights, the jump up party. I'm always going there with my guests. It's a great event every week. We are happy to go to the Friday night jump up. We can eat on the road, we can dance, we can chill out. Then during the week we joining the restaurants in Rodney Bay Marina or in the Rodney Bay area at the mall. So we have lots of different things what you can do. There's no night what is boring. Anytime it is really good.
Enterprising solutions have found that the industry can be rewarding.
I was just passing through at the time. There was nothing to do with, no plan to stay in the Caribbean at all. I originally left England to take 3 years off, sail around the world and get back and start what I was doing. And got to the Caribbean, and after crossing a big piece of ocean, decided I don't really like that. You know, my sailing is round buoys and finishing come back in the very different. And when I first came in this marina here, there was nothing. There was this bay was totally empty. There was a couple of houses down the side here. So we used to actually go into the inner bay and park outside what used to be Pat's Pub. There was, I think Stevens Yachts had a little place there, the chart house, and that was all that was there. There was a few boats at anchor, and that was it. We arrived in '83, yeah, so it's 30 years next year. I mean, when I started, I had my own sail machine, and you had to, if you couldn't fix it yourself, you were dead, because you couldn't get the stuff. It would take ages to order it. And you really had to be a Mr. Fix-It-at-all, bits and pieces. I've sailed since I was 10 years old. My dad taught me to sail, and I just loved it. I loved the racing side of it, and I've raced since I was 10, 11 years old. Let's find a catamaran, which I found up in St. Martin, brought that back down. Martha was the very first one. And start off in a very small way with that. So then we looked, this one, Endless Summer came up. That's built in St. Vincent. Beulah was building boats down there, and they're designed just for day charter. Lots of seating, lots of space, toilets, you know, it's got all the stuff. Through friends who wanted to set up a boat building business in the Caribbean, I said, look, well, I wouldn't mind a new boat. So we got it designed and priced. They came out to set up basically a boat building factory, and I would be their sort of test one to start on. It was all designed properly. It was built in Union, in one of the big warehouses there. Incredible project. Employed a lot of local staff, and then went on to actually building other boats for a while. I mean, some of the guys that worked for me were trained in the factory how to do the glass fibre work and the spraying, and there's some very, very good people in the glass fibre field now because of that factory. I mean, a lot of my guys have gone on to do, I try to keep most of them, and most of them do happen to stay here. I don't know why, but they do. But they go and do other stuff, like they'll, you know, the captains will go and do deliveries to America or across the pond to England. I've got guys who work and repair other boats. And it's a pretty good business. I think the pay as well. It's a great job to be out. You're meeting people all the time. And things have changed. When I started, there was no such thing as licensing, well, you had to have a boat license, that was it. Now actually it's very strict. Every year it's checked for, it's safe to be on the water. It's all checked through for insurance. The captains have to be licensed now. They actually do a test to be licensed. All my crew have to go and do first aid every single year to be upgraded, so if anything happened on board, they're capable of looking after it. So it's gone a lot forward compared to what it was 10, 15 years ago. And it's a good industry to be in. I think everybody who works for me and works on all these boats have a really good time. Yeah, I mean, the actual marina and the docks are the biggest improvement here. I mean, I never used to be in the marina. I left quite a few years ago and had my own place, but came back because they've got the facilities. You know, it's nice and neat to get onto through the docks. It's clean, it's tidy. Facilities are a lot better.